Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Beyond Disabilities Merlin Ride Access Pass. If you haven't watched this before, please be sure to check out my first episode, which is all about Alton Towers and their Ride Access Pass scheme. So, it's a spin off series from my main podcast, Beyond Disabilities, which you can listen to on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. In this spin off series, I talk about the different Merlin attractions, such as, if you don't know, Merlin own Cadbury World, Blackpool, no, not Blackpool, Sea Life Centres, Sandcastle Water Park, The Dungeons, Madame Two Swords, Legoland, Alton Tower, Thorpe Park, Warwick Castle, and Chessington Wild Adventures. In this episode, I'll be talking about Legoland Windsor Resort. For those that don't know, Legoland Windsor Resort is a theme park based on the Lego toys and films and IP. It's based in Windsor, in the southeast of England, and yeah, it's primarily to give you a backstory. Legoland is primarily aimed at the younger audience. However, personally, I think Legoland, as their toys are for any age, and now the theme park is as well. So I went to Legoland and Legoland Windsor Resort and Chiltern Wild Adventures for my birthday back in September. So I'll just describe. So before I even went to the park, as with all Merlin's ride access passes, you need to apply for one online. I believe they do use the Nimbus card as well. In 2024, they added the extra step to pre-book your ride access pass, which is all done via the website. It can be easier. It depends on when you use it and how comfortable you are with using it. Have to pre-book it online. I believe you can talk to them over the phone as well. So I booked that ride access pass. Now, Legoland and Chessington, different to Thorpe Park and Alton Towers, which I'm not sure why. They are all owned by the same company. But Legoland, they use the reserve and ride system, which is used by the website or the app. It's also what they use for their fast track system as well. What you do is once you have your free ticket for the Merlin Ride Access pass and pre-book your thing, you just enter that ticket into the app, and that will then log that ticket. Once you get to the park, you just need to activate your session, which is quite easy, again, via the Apple website. You can use the free Wi-Fi in the park. And then what you do is you, once you're in the park, you select a ride to start with. It then, similar to Disney's Ride Access Pass or Disney Access Scheme, or at least when it was when I was I know it's recently changed, but I haven't used it, so I'm not I can't comment on that really. You select a ride, it then queues you virtually. You need to prove your disabilities with a letter from your doctors or healthcare professional as well before you do this. You basically select the ride you want, you virtually queue, and then it will tell you countdown. And when you're ready, you could just go through to the ride and using their specialty reserve and ride or disability entrance, which is clearly marked. Then you show them it shows QR code. The team member scans a QR code and you get on the ride. Now, I was very fortunate because I went in the the second weekend of September, which is when the schools have all gone back. It was a very quiet day in the park. In this video, I'll also talk about my review of the park overall, not just the scheme. So I was able to pretty much walk on every ride. It's not always like that. I imagine during the summer holidays and school holidays, it will be a lot busier. But yeah, it's a very, very good system. In Legoland, it worked perfectly. The ride access pass and reserve and ride entrances are clearly marked. I went in the queues, had no problem scanning them. The signal was good, the Wi-Fi was good. The staff members are understanding. Yeah, no, it was a really, really good day out. Honestly, it was a really positive thing. I hope they roll out the reserve and ride system in all Merlin parks, including Alton Towers and theme park, because it works a lot better than those and little bits of paper that you have to get the cast member to fill in. Then they put the time in, the next ride. It just holds up And digital is the way forward. I know some people might not like that, and to be honest, I think they should offer both. If you don't have a smartphone, not everybody does. But for me personally, I much prefer the reserve and ride system on the Ride Access Pass. The app works a lot better than Alton Towers and Thorpe Park's apps as well. So yeah, honestly, I really had a brilliant time at Legoland. The team members were absolutely amazing. Everyone was lovely. It was good weather, to be honest. Which brings me on to, unfortunately, there were some negatives with my day out, not to do with the ride access system. However, I know a lot of other theme park YouTubers that had problems with this when they've been this year. But we'll first start with the food options, or sit-in food options to be more exact. So for those that don't know, most of Merlin's food outlets and their attractions and parks are operated by a third party called Aramark. Their prices have shot up exponentially since they took over. And also their availability has been poor of the selection that you have available when you go to the park. Now, I appreciate that it's the second week in September, but that shouldn't really affect the amount of food outlets that are open. So when I went to Legoland, there was only one sit-in option open, which was their all-you-can-eat pizza and pasta buffet. Now, from when at time of recording, from what I remember, the price was £26 for an adult to eat in. Now, yes, I appreciate it's unlimited, but to be honest, I didn't fancy that. I didn't fancy, and I know you can't cater to everyone, but there's a lot of food options in Legoland that have sit-down options. There's a fish and chip shop, and there's quite a few around the resort, but that was the only sit-down option that was available at time my visit. £26 is an awful lot. I didn't really fancy an unlimited buffet. It took me a good 15-20 minutes to wander around to try and find another food option, which was I found this hot dog stand, which is really, really nice. This old rollovers sort of luxury hot dogs. I could use my blue light card discount as well, which was really good. And yeah, the staff members were lovely there. I had to wander around to find a chair, but I don't think it's good enough only having one sort of restaurant open. I think you should at least have two just for availability, even if off-peak periods. It was really nice, the hot dogs, but again, I'm more of a sit-down person. I don't like just wandering around eating food. I found a bench eventually near the driving school, but yeah, that's not good enough, Merlin. You should have more than one sit-down restaurant open, even off-peak periods. I experienced the same in Alton Towers earlier this year when I went, and there was only one sit-down restaurant, the roller coaster restaurant, that was open. I like the roller coaster restaurant, but it's not the cheapest place. So that's that negative out the way. Merlin, please open more food options. And then the next problem, sort of negative, and try not to be too negative, but I'd rather be honest on the channel and tell you my experiences. Was ride availability and ride reliability. So ride availability was good. It wasn't brilliant. Also, more, yeah. So there were a couple of rides that I knew weren't going to be open, like Deep Sea Adventure. And that's being refurbished all this year and open next year, hopefully. However, there was a couple of rides that weren't advertised, like the Haunted House Party, which I've never been on before, that I wanted to go to. I haven't been to Legoland in years, so I'm glad there's still a lot of classics, and all the classic rides. Funnily enough, they were all open, which is brilliant. Which just shows that sort of maybe the manufacturers aren't as reliable as they used to be. Like the Dragon Coaster, Fairy Tale Brook, and the Spinning Spider ride. Although saying that, Lego Ninjago Road, that was amazing. If you haven't been on that, it's like those old classic laser blaster rides, which Legoland does also have as well, except what was I going to say? Except use your hands as sort of the target. It's a really good interactive ride. I really like that, and I did get a Lego set, which is behind me, behind the green screen there, based on that ride. So I really like that. But yeah, ride reliability hasn't been the best at Merlin Parks this year. When I went to Alton Towers, their rides regularly broke down. When I went, which I get, okay, rides break down, great. But I'm seeing on loads of different YouTubers' blogs that it's happening on a daily basis. That's why they have the Windsor Pier. That's why we don't have 365 24/7 parks over here. They've got that Windsor Pier to refurbish things. It just wasn't that great. Rides kept going down throughout the day. I was lucky because sort of got up early. I got there early enough to make sure I've got enough time to ride all the rides. And again, with the virtual queuing system with for the ride access pass, that helped a lot. But there was just wasn't it. There were a lot of rides that kept breaking down. Which I don't know. There's just been a problem with Merlin parks this year with all of their parks. If it was isolated to one park, I'd say okay, maybe it's just that park, but it's not. Happened to me in Alton Towers as well. Um, which then brings me on to transport rides at Merlin Park. So if you don't know, across the Merlin Park, Legoland, Alton Towers, Merlin, and Thorpe Park in Chesington, they have transport rides, which a lot of their parks aren't in the. I mean, they're in good locations, but it's not like in America where they're just standard flat locations like Disney. World in Orlando or Universal. Alton Towers is sort of very hilly. When I went there, like it wasn't that much of a problem for me, but I can understand if you have disabilities, if you're in a wheelchair, have physical disabilities, it might be a problem. But the Sky Ride there has been closed all year for refurbishment, which I understand. But then sort of off alternative transport, get a land train or something potentially. In Legoland, they have a hill train again because it's on different levels. This park, so they built a hill train to get you from top to bottom if you need it. But that was down for some reason. It wasn't open. Oh no, that was still but yeah, no, the hill train wasn't open, which is a bit disappointing because it's a staple of the park. It's been there for many years. Again, I appreciate it's Asian now, but just not to have it open is kind of disappointing. I overall I really enjoyed my trip to Legoland. The staff were brilliant, and the rides I went on, both old and new, were great. I just think they need to put more investment in it, or if not, I don't know, it's not a good sign really. Like all of Merlin parks are sort of showing signs of being what's the word? Sort of not looked after, sort of not taking the care to maintain the rides, and the prices as well are getting exponential. That I'm lucky again with my blue light discount. I managed to get the combi ticket, which helped for Legoland Chesington. I can understand that if they're not sort of showing, not giving the love to the rides and the investment, that it's just going. If not, just hand it over to another another company to look after, like the company owned Drayton Manor. They're doing absolutely fantastic work with their investments in the park. Like Merlin, maybe you're getting too big now. Maybe you just need to hand it over and look after these parks more better. If not, hand it over. Just put the investment in. You're getting money. You've got theme parks all across the world. Just look after the UK parks a bit better, please. But yeah, again with the food options, there's no reason why that the food option, like the restaurant, should be shut, or there's any restricted options. Especially think of the people with Merlin annual passes, or the individual park passes, like they'd be able to pay a lot per month and each year, and to only have limited options open isn't good enough. But overall, I definitely say I definitely recommend Legoland. I haven't been in years. It still has that magic of Lego. Still captures the family feel. It's just I think from Merlin, it needs more investment and more looking after. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening. This Legoland Windsor Resort episode of Beyond Disabilities Merlin Ride Access Parks. I hope you have a good day. If you want to listen or watch what the rest of the Beyond Disabilities, the main podcast, all these episodes, they're all available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Amazon Music. But I hope you have a good day. Thank you very much for listening, and take care of yourselves. Bye.